Hello, everybody. It's Stephen here for the Idiot Quilter, and welcome to my weekly episode. It is episode number 297 for February the 4th, 2025, and I hope everybody is surviving the cold weather. If it's cold in your area, it's cold here. And we've had some snow, a little bit more snow, so yeah, it's winter, it's Canada, it's cold, it's the way life is. Anyways, let's take a look at what I have been up to. Let me find it here. Here you go. This is my newest pattern called Cornered Stars. And I haven't decided yet. I still have some things to do with it. I'm looking at a release date of this possibly during the Idiot Quilter Spring Retreat. More about that later on. But this truly shows how much of an idiot I am. Now, if you were on Stephen and Walter Live on Sunday, you saw this already, and you saw the little error. Actually, it's not a little error, it's a big error. Now, at first, I didn't see it. Of course, Walter was studying it like, you know, a hawk, and he didn't come up with it, but then he did. And so did Russ from Quilt Meets World as well. And at first, I thought it was just the way I took the picture. Well, it isn't. It is a mistake. And here's what I'm talking about. Let me just get a close-up of it. This corner. Can you see what's wrong? Yeah, this piece right here is turned the wrong way. So as Russ put it, it looks like a sailboat. And it does. Okay. Now, at first I thought, well, it's just that piece. But no, it's not just that piece. It's in, well, then I thought it was in each corner. No, it's not just in each corner. It is every one of these star points, for lack of a better term, are all wrong. At least I was consistent. I'll say that. Well, I looked at it and I thought, what am I going to do? I could leave it. And since they look like sailboats, I could rename this quilt Sailboats and Stars. But it just looks awkward. It really does. So I thought, okay, what would be involved, rented lips here, if I was to rip it back and fix those blocks? I only need to turn the blocks about 90 degrees and they'll be fine. Anyways, that would mean taking off the outer borders, the inner borders. And then I got looking at it further and went, nope, I would have to detach rows. And within each row, I have to take out the seam. I'd have to take out several seams. Essentially, I would have to almost reduce the whole quilt to the basic blocks. And I'm thinking to myself, yeah, do I really want to do that? So what's my solution? I'm going to redo the whole quilt. I'm going to make another one, and I'm going to do it right this time. And, you know, that's probably not a bad thing. I will still quilt this one and bind it and everything. It may be a charity quilt or not. It may just be a reminder to myself of, you know, check a lot, check very carefully for the things that could go wrong in a quilt, and get another set of eyes on it before you start sewing it together. Because, you know, when you're working on it, and especially when you're designing a quilt, it is so easy to make a slip up like this. But I am an idiot quilter. So yeah, I picked out my fabrics for another version of this, the correct version of this, yesterday. Don't know when I'm going to get to it. I've got another project. I'm working on my quilt that I'll be teaching at Stephanie's retreat in the fall, not in the fall, in the spring. I'm telling you, I'm sitting here staring at this quilt again to see, is there anything else that's wrong? And I see things and I go, wait, are those right? Yeah, they're right. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Anyways, squirrel. So yeah, I'm going to rework this. And also I noticed when I was going through the pattern again that my diagrams, a couple of my diagrams were wrong. I did my diagrams for, you know, putting it together in electric quilt. Well, the corner star ones had extra lines on them, which aren't supposed to be there. So I went in, redid those, redid the working pattern because it's not finalized yet. And yeah, so maybe it was a good thing I had this mistake came up when it did. A little frustrated, but you know, I'll make it even better the second time. So these things happen. What can I say? I just can't put out a pattern um, to everybody, even though I'm offering it for free when it becomes available. I just can't put it out in this form. That's just not right. In fact, the pattern wasn't wrong. The pattern is right. It was me when I laid out the pieces. Yeah. And I just duplicated that same mistake all the way around. So makes me a double idiot. Yeah. But what can I say? So another thing I've been working on or did just to clear my head. I picked up these freestanding lace little Easter things. Don't like them. I don't like the design. I thought they looked really cute when I purchased them. They were on sale, thank goodness. But I especially don't like the eggs. The eggs, they have all of these little pieces of thread hanging from them. Like I can cut those out, but they're also very weak. Especially that last one, if you look with the green border, there's just nothing to support it. The weave's too open in the Easter eggs, basically, is what the problem is. No wonder they were on sale. These were designed by Juju, and I'm a little disappointed in the way that they turned out. Don't recommend this pattern at all. No, it needs more stitches for a free standing lace. Now, having said that, if you were to do these on a piece of fabric, even though they're freestanding lace, you could do them on a piece of fabric, maybe a piece of white in the background that would peek through. There would be much more support, and I think they would look better like that. But as freestanding lace, I just don't think they are, in my opinion, I just don't think they have a close enough weave. The rabbit's okay, but even it is a little bit too many open spaces, you know, in it. So yeah, but live and learn. Yeah. Okay. Let's go back here to me. So what's happening? What's coming up? Of course, Sewing with Stephanie and Stephen on Wednesday, starting at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And links in the show notes. And Stephanie will be back. I assume she'll be back. I haven't heard from her since she left on her cruise, but I believe she is home now and she'll be with us on Wednesday. She missed last week, of course, because she was on a Caribbean cruise with Stitch in Heaven. So I am sure she'll tell us all about that. And I look forward to seeing any videos she might make of the event as well and talking to her about it. Yeah, live vicariously through Stephanie. Okay, Pop-Up Sew Day. Yes, we're having one this coming Saturday, February the 8th, 2025. It will begin, or the virtual doors will open at 8 a.m. Eastern Time. All are welcome. Come and go as you please. Bring along whatever you want to work on, and away we go. We have a happy day of sewing in our happy places. So yeah, it's a great opportunity to catch up on whatever you may need to get caught up on. And I've got a lot of things, I can tell you that. So I'm going to make every second of that day count. Okay, and the link for it is in the show notes below as well. And those of you on my emailing list, you got it in your email yesterday. You may have gotten a few extra things yesterday, and I apologize for this. I did not realize that I forgot to hit the blind carbon copy button. And so my mailing list of over 200 people, well, everybody went in the tube. Now, that's not really a big problem, except when somebody replied back to that email and everybody saw the reply. And I am sorry for filling your mailbox up with that. I will try to do better in the future. I sent out an apology about that yesterday. I got a very nasty note from one subscriber who was pissed off with me because that happened. Obviously, this is somebody that is absolutely perfect and never has any problems. So, yep, They want to be immediately taken off. Told me a couple of times in the little rude message that they immediately want it to be taken off of the mailing list, and I did just that. And there was one other person that also wanted to be taken off the mailing list. So, and I'm assuming it's for the same reason. I am sorry about that. I'm sorry that that kind of thing annoyed you. It happens. Goodness gracious, I can tell you a whole lot of things that annoy me about subscribers, but I don't write them nasty emails about it because I realize they just didn't know or they made a little minor mistake. You know, in the big scheme of things, it's not going to change the price of rice in China. Okay? Pick the mountain you want to die on. Yeah. Okay. So, hope to see lots of you on the pop-up day. So, what's next? Well, I mentioned Stephanie's retreat in the spring, and I'm working on the quilt for that. Not the one behind me. You haven't seen the other one. I've been keeping it a deep, dark secret. Just to let you know, though, once the retreat has come and gone, then I will post the pattern for everybody else, and it will be free too. So, but I've also, lately I've been into those alphabeties or whatever you want to call them, the little, clips with the alphabet letters on them and the numbers for organizing your cut pieces and your fabrics and things like that. And I'm absolutely loving them. But I thought, in my patterns, I label units, pieced units, as, A, B, C, or whatever, just to help keep things straight. So for that pattern that I'm working on, I thought I should have some alphabeties for everybody at the retreat. So I made some. I made a pile of them. Yep, on my 3D printer. So, and well, I've made a little video to show you what I'm talking about. So I have been using my 3D printers to create something for quilters. And these are little alphabeties that you can pin to your fabric so you keep your pieces organized for a pattern. Now, I made these specially for my pattern that I'll be teaching in Berlin in the spring, Berlin, Ohio, at Stephanie's retreat. And I'm giving each person a little package of these, and these will work with my pattern. So the letters are all here, but if you notice at the top, there's a little, get it in focus, there's a little tiny hole. That's a pin will fit through that, and then you can attach it to your pile of fabric. So as I said, these are custom, meaning that they are just enough to do the pattern that I am taking down with me to teach. And I think this is going to be a little extra something that they can take away with them and use in other projects later. So those should work out pretty well if people want to use them. It'll be their choice. I've made about 50 packets of them. Yeah, that's what I did on the weekend. Okay, so that takes me to Subscribers Quilt of the Week, and this comes from Deborah Lunsford, and I do believe we've seen some of her beautiful creations here on the Idiot Quilter before, and here is another one. This week's quilt from a subscriber comes from Deborah Lunsford, and Deborah writes, "Hello, Stephen. After watching your wonderful video telling us about your retreat and trip to the States, I looked around to see if I had any finishes to share. I do not have a lot. I'm still working part-time. Still have not finished Regal Pines by Chelsea Stratton, but I will send pic when done. I did finish 2 Christmas stockings made from 1.5 inch squares that are created from scraps. I do this as leaders and enders. I know a lot of people do crumb piecing, but for me this is my relaxing sewing. I piece them together in 4 patches first, then larger sections until I have a big enough piece, and then cut out the front of the stocking. I love the checkerboard look. The quilt under them is a pinwheel Christmas quilt made last year from fabric from the 1990s. I remember these fabrics because they are from my children's stockings made when they were little. Happy New Year to you and Walter and all your listeners." Okay, well, this is a beautiful quilt, and I love the socks. I love that patchwork. And what a great idea for using up scraps and doing it as leaders and enders because, then in a way you're doing 2 projects in one. I think your quilt is lovely. It's bright, it's beautiful. I love the colors and the patterns that are in it, and the border really sets it off nicely too. And at first glance, I wouldn't have said that that was a Christmas quilt, but when I look at the border fabrics a little bit more closely, I can see that it is. But I think this would work as a nice winter quilt as well, so you could extend its period of display. Or if you're like me, does it matter whether it's a Christmas quilt or not? Show it all year round. Be proud of it. And I hope you are proud of these creations because they're absolutely lovely. So thank you, Deborah, for sharing them with us. So that takes me to the YouTube channel of the week, or video for that matter. And this is called The 5 Most Common Sewing Mistakes. And this is by Cornelius Acquiring. I always want to say queering, but it's acquiring. And if you may remember that a few months ago, I interviewed Cornelius, and he is just a wonderful person, and a wonderful sewist, and a great teacher, and yeah. And I did try to get him to be one of my presenters for the upcoming retreat, the Idiot Quilter Spring Retreat. But unfortunately, he is tied up with a trade show then. But maybe I'll try again for the fall retreat. We shall see. Excuse me. Frog creeps right in my throat. I say this every week. It happens this time of the day every week. I don't know what it is. But anyways, so this is one of his latest videos, and this is an excellent video. He comes up with a bunch of stuff that I hadn't really thought of, but I've made these mistakes, and you probably have too. This week's YouTube video of the week is from Cornelius Queering and Quiring. Got to get his last name right. I did interview Cornelius. I think he's fascinating. He knows what he's talking about, and he's got some very practical information. And this video, The 5 Most Common Sewing Mistakes, is an example of what I speak of. Cornelius has a great way of getting across essential information and at the same time entertaining us as well. And I think he's absolutely wonderful. So if you want to know what the 5 most common sewing mistakes are, and Cornelius explains what they are and why they are mistakes, then you want to check out his video, The 5 Most Common Sewing Mistakes. Can I say mistakes any more times? So, future projects. Well, when I was at Dahlonega, Stephanie's retreat at Christmas time, we had a takeaway table there, and there was this pattern on the table, and I saw it, and it had stars, and I love stars and things, and so I picked it up, and someday I'll do it. But here's what I'm talking about. This week's future project is one that I picked up while I was at Stephanie's retreat in Dahlonega. And there's a takeaway table there, and this pattern with another one, or this kit, was on that particular table. Actually, no, I'm wrong. It was not on the takeaway table. It was the White Elephant Gift Exchange, and which was a lot of fun. And this is what I ended up with, or someone gave this to me. Now I'm really confused where I got it. Anyways, it's a project I want to do because one, it's got stars in it. Two, the fabrics are showing in this pattern looks like it could be a nice little a Christmas mini quilt. It's not huge. It measures, I think, 20.5 by 20.5, so very small, more like a little wall hanging, or it could even be a large table topper. But either way, I think it'll be a lot of fun to do. I'm not sure when I'll get to it. It's by Primitive Gatherings, and it's called the Bright Star Mini Quilt, and I will put a link to where you can pick this up if you're interested in buying it. I'm not sure if it's, you can get it as a kit. What I have is a kit, so the fabrics are already included with it, so I think I probably will use those fabrics. And I'm not sure if the pattern is, there's a little close-up detail of it here. I'm not sure if the pattern is a digital pattern. Let's go down here and see. It doesn't say. So I guess you have to see if whether or not it is. I prefer digital patterns. But anyways, I'm digressing. I think it's cute. I think it's one that I really want to do. And maybe I will do it for Christmas, so I won't get to it till probably later in the year. but we shall see. So that's called the Bright Star Mini Quilt, and it's by Primitive Gatherings, and there's a link to it in the show notes below. So I've already kind of alluded to what I've been working on this week. I've shown you some quilts. I've been working on mistakes. I've been doing 3D printing and other things like that. So here's a little video about what I've been working on this week. So what have I been working on this week? Well, I got the top done for my next pattern. This is called Cornered Stars, and as I said, the top is done. Now I've got to get it out on Lucy, get it quilted, finalize the pattern, and then make it available for free for all of you. I haven't decided yet whether that's going to be something that I will put up free come the retreat, the spring retreat. I've been working on that as well. I've been trying to locate speakers, having a little bit of difficulty with that, mostly from people who do not return my emails. Rude. Yeah, whatever. But more about that later on. So I've been working on this. You can see I have a whole pile of things all in this basket here, and I've got some pieces laid out on my table. This is for the quilt that I'll be teaching at Stephanie's spring retreat in Berlin, Ohio. I think. It's still up in the air whether or not I'm going to actually make it there because of given the political climate these days. What else around the craft room or my sewing room? Of course, you've already seen these. I've been working on these alphabet pieces for quilt markers. Having a little problem with this one printer today. My automatic leveling device, my BL Touch, is not working properly. I got to fix that later today, see what's going on there. Of course, I am still playing with my new Bamboo X1 carbon printer with the AMS system, and I love it. I absolutely love it. And I think if you saw my video yesterday, you saw my roses and vase that I made in it. Now I'm debating whether I'm going to tackle a really large project, and that large project is to make a big stand for the AMS. It's going to take a long time to print, and it's a fairly complex print, but we'll see. Now, just over here on my little bulletin board of miscellaneous freestanding lace projects, I just did this little bunny, as you already saw, and these Easter eggs, just to try them out. It was on sale was it Designs by Juju? I think it was Designs by Juju, yeah. So, you know, I love freestanding lace, so I thought I'd make these. These are okay, though I think I know why they're on sale. They're a little juvenile. I think they're a little juvenile. They're pretty, but, you know, I think they could be a little bit more elaborate. And I don't think there's been anything else really that I've been working on this week. I've been doing a lot of paperwork, and what I call paperwork is, you know, like for the upcoming retreat, the pop-up sew day, things like that, my notes on things. Oh, and of course, we got a new bed, as you've already heard all about, if you saw Stephen and Walter live and my vlog this week. And yeah, that's about it. And that takes us to this week's online quilt store. This one is called Black Rabbit Fabrics. This week's online quilt store is located out in British Columbia, Canada, and it's called the Black Rabbit Fabric. And let's see what they have to offer. So let's jump right up. This is their home page. And they're showing some of their best sellers, which include patterns and notions. They have some other featured items, including sewing machines. So they do sell sewing machines. They do have hand embroidery. They do have hemaline bag patterns or hardware. That's the word that I want. And new arrivals are listed here as well. And quick links. So let's jump right up to the top of the screen and let's check out fabrics. In the pull down menu, it looks like the fabrics are by manufacturer and they're alphabetical. They do have some wide back as well. We'll come back to that. Tulip pink. They do sell linen and minky as well. Let's try, let's do art gallery because I really like art gallery fabrics. Okay, so here's our selection. They have 75 products, it says here, so that's a good selection. Looks like they intermix pre-cuts in here, and everything looks like it's $5, and I imagine that's $5 um, a quarter meter. I hate it when they put them in quarter meters, but at least it's in meters. So a meter's $20. Well, that's not necessarily bad for art gallery fabrics because they are high quality fabrics. So $20 a meter. I've seen them for higher than that. Of course, all prices I'm talking about are in Canadian dollars. So that's not bad at all. Let's take a look at what I noticed they had Kona solids as well. And those, no thanks to that, they're $3.50 a quarter meter. So that makes them $14. Am I right? 4 times 3 is 12. Yeah, $14 a meter, which is okay price as well for Kona Solid. So really, I don't find any fault there whatsoever. Get that off my screen. Okay, what other things in fabrics do we have here? Well, like I said, they have Andover Art Gallery, Blank Quilting, some other ones, Dear Stella, Holiday Quilting Cottons. I'm assuming these are Christmas themed. Oh, gnomes, $5 a meter, so $20 a meter, I mean. Not a bad selection, really. 94 in there. Now, does that just include Christmas or do we have other holidays? Let's jump ahead a few pages and see. Well, some of these I would debate as being holiday fabric. Some of them I think you could use in others. Oh yeah, they have some Halloween as well. So I guess they have all of their holiday fabrics in one section, which there's nothing wrong with that. Now I did see Tulip Pink. So let's take a look because I know how people love Tulip Pink. Good price, $20 a meter. So, oh well, some of it is cheaper. That, well, a little more expensive. Yeah, $8.50. Oh, that's a wide back though. Okay. Oh, so their wide backs are mixed in here too. So, well, price wise on Tula, that's all right too. So let's explore because they did have a category that showed wide back. So let's just take a look at that and see what they have to choose from. We got 48 different ones, so that's a good selection. And they look like they're, well, most of them, they're $8.50 a quarter meter. So that makes them, yeah, that's pricey. Like that's $34. Yeah, $34 a meter for wide back. So that's on the upper level of the scale, but a good selection. So that's good too. All right. Let's take a look at pre-cuts because I like my pre-cuts. So fat quarter bundles, what do they got to offer? Well, quite a bit. 30. And price-wise, $25.99, $25.90. They seem to be very consistent in their pricing, which is good. There's no real surprises here, and I think the prices are in amongst the average of what stores are charging. All right, so that was fat quarters. Let's go to, oh, well, okay, that's not letting me go. Don't know why, can't seem to go beyond the fat quarter bundle. So let's just do it with the back arrow and see. Back up here. That's pre-order. Oh, man, I was hitting pre-order. Let's take a look at charm packs. No products found. Okay. And let's find Jelly Roll. And yeah, they've got, what, how many does it say? 17 products, but some of those include patterns and books. Not as nice a selection as their fat quarter bundles, but they do have some things there. Okay, so they also sell knits. So I think if you are doing some garment sewing, you can find some things here as well. Hand embroidery, what do they have under that? I don't do hand embroidery, as you know, but many people do. And it's basic supplies and books and stencils and that kind of thing. So if you're into hand embroidery, I suppose that's not a bad selection. Let's look under thread. They have Glide, Aurifil, Metler, Maxi, Lock, Surgicone thread, Gutermann. So they don't have a bad selection of thread. Let's check Aurifil. $18.99, that's the standard price now here in Canada for Aurifil. They only have 6 to choose from, and they're all pretty much the neutrals. So yeah. Another thread though, Metler. Metler is one that isn't as readily available in my area. So $12.99 and $2.95. So I'm not sure if those are good prices or not. I suspect that they are the going price. They seem to have quite a lot of Metler, not as yeah, 239 products. So that seems to be their focus is more the Metler threads than the Aurifil. And let's see, click Glide, because I use Glide all the time. And for 1100 yard, it is $7.99, which is actually pretty much the going price as well. And they have Magna Glide bobbins as well. And they have quite a bit of that, 188 products. Okay, let's take a look under bag making. Oh, they've got them all. Okay. They don't have bag. Oh, yes, they have Annie bags. And it looks like they have like the patterns and the specialty supplies that you might need for some of these. So yeah, so if you're looking for bag making supplies, they look like they have a fairly good selection of that. They do have kits. Okay. Here's this problem I ran into before. Oh wait, no. Here we go. Quilting kits. Okay. Um, all right. Well, they've got a number and they've got some cute little sewing items. Have about 35 different products in that line. And let's jump over to, I also noticed under kits, they had bag kits. Sally Tomato, not a big selection there. Okay. I'm assuming that notions will be, yeah, your usual kind of thing. Starch, blades, ribbon. Yeah, so we won't bother looking into that. Patterns and books, same thing. What have they got? They have 87 to choose from in books. Looks like they like the 3-yard quilt books. Okay, so yeah, that's pretty standard. Let's check out batting, though. Batting. Okay, they have Pellon's Nature's Touch 80/20 and cotton batting with a scrim, Arctic bamboo. Well, I've never used Arctic bamboo. So full roll of that's expensive. For a 96-inch, $450. Yeah, and I'm assuming that this one by the Pellon, well, it's sold out anyways, uh, is probably sold by the meter, half meter. So basically it is $15.50 a meter. I don't know if that's pricey or not because I don't usually buy my batting by the meter. I buy it by the roll. Looking at what they're charging for the rolls, that's fairly expensive. So yeah, a little pricey there. Oh, they do pattern printing services. So I guess if you've got a clothing pattern, you can have them printed out for you if you have it in digital format. They do say they have classes as well. And they have about 10 different classes. Yeah, nothing there really exciting. And I'm assuming these classes are in store. These are not digital. Let's just take a look. Yeah, they're in store classes. Okay. So unless you live in that area, not much help there. What's happening? Well, what is happening? Oh, they do have a calendar. Oh, they've got a lot of things going on. So, yeah, again, great for people who live in the area. Yep, lots of stuff happening there. So, very active store. I like to look at these and see the calendars because this says this is a store that really is, really looks after its customers. They're really offering quite a lot. Now, they do have Husqvarna sewing machines by the looks of things. That's the only brand that they carry. So, yeah, if you're a Husqvarna fan. So, yeah, I think that's everything we can look at here. It's a fairly verbose uh, site. Lots to choose from. Prices are fairly good. If you're into garment sewing, they do offer things for people like that and hand embroidery as well. And yeah, overall, I would give this shop probably an 8 out of 10. So you might want to check it out. That's Black Rabbit Fabric. So that's it for me this week. I hope you saw the vlog yesterday. And so Chatty this week, we are moving our way towards doing bag making on So Chatty, but we need a little bit more time. And when I say we, I mean me. Well, Walter too, to figure out exactly what we're going to do with that. But in the meantime, I did show you last week the gnome wall hanging that I did. And actually, I just bought another one. It's another gnome wall hanging, but it's for St. Patrick's Day. I think they're stinking cute. So, they'll probably have one for Easter. Actually, I think they already have one for Easter, but they're not releasing it yet because they're making an incentive. If you buy over $30 US of their products, this is Designs by Juju, you can get that free. Well, eventually they'll put it up for sale. So I may get that one too. I'll have one for every important holiday during the year. Anyways, they're very cute. They're quick to do. Um, so I did the one for Valentine's Day. And so I thought maybe you'd be interested in seeing how you go about doing this kind of thing as an in the hoop project. So that's what's on So Chatty this week. And then the following week, hopefully we'll start on the bag. I've got so many projects. I know I'm getting to that stage again. This happens to you every now and then. You get a little overwhelmed, all kinds of things to do, and, not enough hours in the day to do them all. So we say there actually is if you're organized. Anyways, I'm rambling now. So also remember Pop-Up Sew Day. If you're interested, this coming Saturday, February the 8th, doors open 8 a.m. It's a Zoom. Everything's in the show notes for that. Okay, have a great week. We'll see you later. Bye for now.